Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and you are listening to The Burning Truth.
Hello, everybody.
We're having a slight technical issue as...
We didn't have any issues.
Well, I'm having technical issues with my headset, as my headset doesn't have sound coming through it, and all I've got in front of me is someone who thinks I'm deaf.
You're not deaf.
Basically, like doing sign language, and the only bits of sign language I know come from Steve Austin, and it's called flipping the bird, like that.
Very funny.
So, opposite me is the man with two dicks. It is the bad boy of British wrestling, the always sneezing, the incomparable, the sometimes always splitting, trailblazing. It is Matthew Burns.
Get my name right. It's Matt Burns. Not Matthew, not Caligulus, not... No!
How about Matthew Montgomery
No.
McGuinness Burns?
Matt
The malicious.
McGuinness Burns.
Matthew McGuinness Montgomery Malicious Burns.
It's actually Nigel. Matthew Nigel Burns.
Nigel
Nigel.
McGuinness.
No. Just Matthew Nigel Burns.
Okay.
That's it.
Okay, Matthew.
And across from me, the unforgiving, uncompromisable, finally lost one for this month. The man, the myth, the legend, Nathan Goff.
Which is actually getting recognised now. In work, it was even said, the man,
The myth,
the legend. Fuck. Someone knows the script. Someone has read the script.
Someone's read the script. They got the hard copy.
They've only been there 2 weeks, and someone has got the shit together. A lot. You, my son, have read the script. You know what I am.
Right on cue.
Fuck. How you doing?
How you doing?
Legend in the room.
Next it'll be either saying the living legend, dancing classic.
I have.
For a minute then, I thought you were gonna go. I hope.
I have an undefeated streak. I have a undefeated streak. I am 2-0 in wrestling matches.
2-0? No. That's not the streak I was on about. That's not the streak I was on about.
I hold on to what streaks I can get.
While you can. That's fair point.
So,
anyway.
It's been a busy week. It's been a really busy week.
It has been a busy week, and we've actually got some news to break right now, quite quickly, which is to do with the King of the Kingdom tournament.
King of the what, though?
King of the Kingdom.
King of the Kingdom?
King of the Kingdom.
Should I say it now when you're pissed off?
Oh, good lord. Anyway,
Kingdom of the Kings?
Kingdom of the King? Kingdom of the Rectum? Kingdom of the what? No. It's King of the Kingdom, and if you remember,
Are we able to call it KOK? It's basically King of the Ring.
KOT... Oh, for God's sake.
It's basically, if you sub the R for a K, it is KOTK.
Yeah, you could say that. KOTK. So, no. Right, basically...
We're going for KOTK.
No, you call it that, I'll call it King of the Kingdom. And hopefully I don't fluff my lines. Anyway, back onto it. Last week we announced when the championship was going to be defended, if you all remember. And that was in April at...
What church?
In what church? For
the American...
Basically,
The American Wrestling Company, which is part of EPW, I think.
EPW, which is in association and linked with the UKWA. Now, as we've already listed and already mentioned the name, we've been officially told now that the actual official match.
Upcoming breaking news alert.
Breaking news. The actual match will be defended in a 20.
The actual match will be defended. You mean the inaugural champion will be crowned? Come on, goddammit, John O'Clock over here.
But my name's not John.
Matthew O'Clock.
Never going to rest as it. Anyway, back on to it.
So the inaugural champion will be crowned in the following
match, which is a 25-man battle royal.
I prefer to use the word person, since we've just come across from International Women's
You know
Day.
what? Yes, I agree. A 25-person battle royal. I agree with you on that one, actually. They mentioned them words to us, and I just thought to read what the script that they told us. But I agree with you. We'll stick with 25-person battle royal.
Because who knows what could happen, you know?
Agreed.
We both went to the academy, and we both saw the intergender singles match.
That we did.
So why can't a woman decide she wants to be Queen of the Kingdom?
That is very true, and I agree. And I agree with that. So with that, I will state one thing. 20 places have already been filled and locked. However, there are 5 spaces left. On that same night, there will be some matches to do, to be able, to fill the blocks of the slots that are currently vacated. So if you're lucky enough to get on the show and everything and get involved in a match, you could actually be involved.
I'm going to Disneyland.
I actually don't know whether if he does actually get a match, if I should place a dark horse bet on him. I don't know whether if I should or not. But anyway, that's now officially the breaking news over. So, is there anything you want to discuss or bring up?
No. So let's just go into our normal scheduled build for this week. Obviously, since we've covered King or Queen of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Whichever it may come up as.
That's fine.
So, this week, we have had the Hardys showing up in Ring of Honor and winning the belts from the Bucks of Youth.
Bucks of Youth.
Continuing their tag team
tour.
Conquering tour.
Which unfortunately has had to have a pit stop in one company.
TNA have supposedly conquered time and space.
Somehow.
And yet can't conquer it enough to actually have a decent show.
Whoops.
They've been snubbed by Bully Ray, and Bully Ray has gone to Ring of Honor.
That is correct.
So, let's start with Ring of Honor. What a week Ring of Honor have had.
It's a good week.
So, just this morning, Christopher Daniels, the Fallen Angel, first heavyweight championship in 24 years.
Impressive. It's been a long time coming.
Did you see the picture? They give him the inaugural championship which was the first one, which was crowned in the three-way dance between Loki, Bryan Danielson, and Christopher Daniels.
Yeah.
And they gave him the new one as well to crown his accomplishments, because that was the 15th anniversary show, if I'm not mistaken. And he main evented the 15th anniversary show, but also the first one. That is testament to how good Christopher Daniels is.
And to stay relevant, stay in the game, to be top notch, to basically be the superstar that he is.
And Adam Cole puts up a quality match.
Adam Cole, baby!
Takes 3 BMEs to put him away. Not one.
Not two.
But 3
trois.
BMEs.
Christ. I think that's what he's praying on, wasn't it? Oh, 3 BMEs.
But now, also, you've had the Hardys who have turned up, you know. They've come from Tijuana. From Tijuana to Ring of Honor.
From TNA to Tijuana to Ring of Honor. It's a nice ring to it, isn't it?
You know, it ain't quite Rotterdam to Rome, but...
Or anywhere. Liverpool.
Or Rome. But it's close enough, and, you know, the Hardys, hottest unsigned tag team at the moment.
At the moment, yeah. But this is a good time for them as well to be in ROH.
Can Jeff go to Japan?
To Japan? I'm not 100% sure. Possibly, yes.
Because what I think would be a good bet is for the Hardys to actually become IWGP World Tag Team Champions in the next 12 months.
It's a possibility. However, there's been actual in talks of the Hardys returning to WWE.
If you're Matt and Jeff Hardy, do you want to go back to the 300 days a year, or are you happy working maybe 3 or 4 days a week?
Possibly, but it all depends on what certain deals are offered and what comes about of it and everything. It varies from person to person on the deals, doesn't it?
Have you watched the Christopher Danielson match? Yeah, the Fallen Angels, Christopher Daniels.
Sadly,
Christopher Danielson.
Got somebody on your brain, have you?
Remember mentioning Brian Danielson earlier.
Which we will bring up. Whoa! Daniel Bryan. He's Daniel Bryan at the moment.
I know, but when he was in Ring of Honor, which is where I'm coming from.
Yes, Brian Danielson. Yes. But anyway.
The American Dragon.
The American Dragon bringing out all the... I can see you've done your homework. I can see it. But it's all good. It's all good. Can you name his finisher?
Cattle... I can't say the second word, so don't make me try to say it.
Say it! Way! You got it. Definitely.
It's the only time I'm ever going to be able to pronounce it.
Probably. I'm not even attempting, because I'll just butcher it.
But no, it's definitely a different time. So, going on to that match, obviously you saw the build-up with Kazarian, because obviously the Addiction is supposedly split up, and the Addiction had one half of the Addiction, Kazarian had joined the Bullet Club.
Ooh.
And then the double cross come.
The switch.
Which is actually nice, because at the next Ring of Honor show, you will see that Kazarian's actually got a match with Britain's own Marty Scurll.
Oh, for the television title.
Yeah.
Could we see a new champion there, or can we see Marty Scurll adding another name to his list?
I hope he adds another name to the list.
That'd be quite an impressive one as well. Because he's actually been doing quite well for himself lately.
Yeah. Well, in all fairness, America's where the good money's at for.
And he's doing really well. He's got that sinister feel to him.
Yeah.
In ROH, if you've actually been watching him, it's weird. He's got the right tone, the right music. You know, he comes out as a proper villain.
So that's what's happened in Ring of Honor. Obviously, I won't reveal the full results of the 15th anniversary show. Go watch it. It looks to have been a solid show. But
So in other words, we do apologise for not actually putting out the following words. Spoiler alert!
No, but the rest of the show was solid as well. Just go watch it. Really good show. Now I know you wanted to talk about the state of Impact Wrestling.
Where do I begin? Where do we begin? The state of Impact Wrestling. Right. Straight away, you've lost Drew Galloway. Bye-bye. The Hardys. Adios. Jade. Bye-bye. You've lost some... You're losing talent quite interestingly there. But some of them are... One of them... Well, a tag team was a money maker for them, but they lost them because supposedly they wanted to keep more.
This is an interesting fact for you, and I don't know if you'll know it or not. Did you know the Hardys, the 3A segments of the last 12 months have actually come from the Hardys
Yep.
in Impact Wrestling, and they were funded by the Hardys. Not Impact Wrestling, by the Hardys themselves.
Yeah. So basically, TNA or Impact Wrestling or the Big Bird have somehow managed to screw up something where the Hardys are paying for it and getting them ratings. You imbeciles!
Because, do you know what relation Samuel Benjamin actually is to the Hardys?
Go on.
Do you know?
Nope.
He is Rebby Sky's dad.
Ah.
And he was never under contract to Impact Wrestling.
That can go wrong quite a bit. But it may not do.
The Impact Wrestling are actually trying to sue the Hardys for non-completion of the contract because the Hardys had 3 days left on the contract before they left.
What?
That's according to Rebby Sky on Twitter.
But that can be hit, arguments here and there. But if you think about it, straight away, they're saying, oh, we want you to come down to the TV just so you can drop the titles and move on. In other words, wham, bam, thank you for the views and off.
Yeah.
In some cases, if that's the case where if they did have dates, then they should have done them.
Oh, no, they didn't have dates. They had 3 days. And obviously the 3 days wouldn't have coincided with the actual
contract
tapings.
So then, unfortunately, it's got nothing to do with it. No. That's their fault. And why did they leave it so late for the contract as well, to sign it?
Well, this is all stuff. If you follow Rebby Sky on Twitter, which I've been keeping a close eye on Rebby Sky's Twitter because, in all fairness, the way that she treats it's like watching Mrs. Scott Steiner.
Oh.
It's so aggressive.
That's not going to end well.
It's so aggressive, but it's so funny to read through.
The thing is, supposedly, the Hardys did want to actually sign a new contract with them.
Yeah.
But because they left it so late, it was like, all right, here, don't.
And Matt had been chasing it as well. So Matt Hardy had been chasing it. Jeff Hardy wanted to go because they hadn't offered him one early on to look over.
Yeah.
So Jeff was like, fuck this.
Move on.
But Matt was trying
Matt's tried to argue it and say, no, we'll stay. They'll sort us. And then it comes to last minute, oh, here's the contract, you've got to accept it or not. It's a bit of a... Some could say it's a bit of a stump pull.
Yeah.
Some could say they could have been busy with the whole acquisition and everything. But regardless of it, when you've got talent who are doing really well, the first thing you're going to do, regardless of acquisitions or not, the first thing that's going to be looked into is your contracts.
Oh, yeah.
And the first thing you do is call them up and try and make some sort of deal, try and sort it out. That wasn't the case in this case.
No.
And unfortunately, because of this one fact, they've now lost out on a fantastic tag team that was actually doing well. That they've managed. This is a silly thing. I think the fact that, take into account what Matt Hardy has done through this transition, as much as I can turn around and say, when I first saw him do the change, God, I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated it so much.
But he's won people over with it.
He's won people over. He's made himself a household name
off his own back.
Where the WWE are knocking on his door.
If you take enough chances, eventually the risk will pay off, and that's what it's done for Matt Hardy.
It's paid off, and it hasn't just paid off just for him. It paid off for Jeff Hardy as well. It's it made him do things a little bit differently. It reinvented himself, brought out a character, brought out a different character. The creature, instead of saying the creatures of the night and whatnot. Sorry, but Jeff, that bull crap didn't work for me. Now it's just pretty much turn up, delete, obsolete, delete, obsolete. It's simple, it's effective, it works.
Also, have you heard the latest discussions?
Which ones?
So, and this is only speculation, Eli Drake has sat down with Jeff Jarrett this week and also Bruce Pritchard and complained about the recent tapings because a lot of the commentary and a lot of things that the commentary said were supposedly taking the piss out of what happened before Anthem took over.
You're on about the fact that Jeremy Borash is joining the announced team and Josh Matthews. The problem with this is they've got Jeremy Borash who's joining the commentary team.
Yeah.
One person got absolutely left off that commentary team. The Pope. While the other two were bickering. Now, I'll put my hand up and say, it's all right having commentators.
But
it's okay having commentators arguing, but not about backstory or other stuff. I'm arguing about the match.
Yeah.
Conflict of interest. I'm arguing about what's happening in the ring, not saying the history, blah blah blah, something in the past, blah blah blah.
No, so the argument here was that because of all the things that was coming through commentary, it was making the wrestlers look bad as well as the old regime, and Drake thought this was unfair because even though a lot of wrestlers weren't being paid during the time of Dixie Carter, all of them still turned up and they still put a show on for the fans.
Exactly.
Even though they were maybe 2-3 paychecks behind.
Exactly, and as much as you can turn around and say it could be disheartening not being paid and whatnot, to have someone beat down on it, not good. Because you can understand having a bit of an argument with him because a lot of people, when they're in the ring, there's having criticism and then there's someone tearing it apart. If someone's tearing it apart with no actual proper criticism and is just slating it just for the sake of it, then I'm sorry, and anybody's going to stand up and take pride in the work that they've done.
Yeah.
Every person has the right to do that. I've actually been to wrestling companies where I could have assumed it was terrible, but it's turned out great. Gone to shows where it looks absolutely fantastic, top notch. Bored out my skull. But the difference is I didn't exactly slate them because regardless of me not being entertained as much, I still appreciated the fact that the wrestlers in the ring were still trying their best at a business that isn't all roses and daffodils.
They're still trying to put a show on for people.
They're still putting on a show. They're still trying to to work to make sure that the money that you spent on that for the ticket has been worthwhile.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that's what people should respect.
It is something you have to respect because it's like you've seen my work ethic when I've been wrestling, and do I slouch? Do I think
no?
No. Do you know why? Because regardless of it, if one person pays to see me, that person is paid to see me.
Yeah.
And I will go out my way to make sure he, if not the exact same, worth the amount he's paid, if not more. And that's the way it should be.
Yeah. So that's interesting with that. Obviously, I don't want to go into too much with TNA. This doesn't need to be.
It's not something.
An Impact Wrestling social.
It's not.
Episode.
All I'll say is, instead of having one authority figure, now I've got two. One of them being Bruce Pritchard, and the other one being Dutch Mantel. Yep. We'll move on. And they did have a new heavyweight champion.
Which is what we covered last week.
So we already know about that. But you already knew that. But anyway, moving on.
So, where do you want to take us next?
Next. I'm going to say, where would you like to go? I'll let you have the reins.
Look at this. He can't even decide where he wants to go next. He's just pussyfooting around the subject.
No.
Pussyfooting around the subject.
What subject?
Right. So, talking smack. John Cena
Right. I'm actually glad you brought that up. I was actually considering going to WCPW, but we'll move on to that later. But we'll go straight to Talking Smack because, in all fairness, this is actually an interesting segment. I think. Would you care to continue?
So the John Cena, Nikki Bella, Maurice, and the Miz.
Yeah.
It's now taking shape. Miz is getting personal.
You think?
I haven't seen a build up like this verbally since The Rock and Cena.
And it is getting quite personal the way they're doing it.
Mm.
It's getting quite nasty.
And if I was feeling worried for someone at the moment, it isn't the Miz I'm feeling worried for. It's Maurice, because she must have some ring rust.
Oh, she'll have some ring rust.
And Nikki Bella is probably looking to make her bitch.
Pretty much.
Because they don't like each other personally.
It's not going to end well. It's not going to end well. Sounds like Chinese whispers.
But no, the build-up's been brilliant. Like Cena last week, cut probably one of the best promos. If I had stroke, why the fuck would I want to work with you?
Oh! Shots fired!
Quite potentially the best one-line answer.
Slam! And then followed it up with, I'd be facing The Undertaker! Hooray!
No, but this week, The Miz has come back and fired shots back at Cena.
Oh, well, boy, has he ever. The fact that he literally berated his relationship with
Daniel Bryan.
Wow, with Daniel Bryan, stating, "Oh, I'll book the show. I'll talk. We'll talk about it over dinner."
Yeah.
Oh.
Right, Daniel. Draft me to SmackDown. Don't ask me to be first or second. Sit me on as third because I won't be here for half the year. Ouch. You want some ice for that?
Oh. You need some ointment. However, Daniel Bryan still collectively gives 0 fucks.
Yeah. 0 fucks given.
Daniel Bryan is still giving 0. Oh, mate. I can also say, though, but as he was continuing on, you can see that Daniel Bryan is saying, no, that's not the case. We literally, both sides agreed to it. He was arguing for it, which is a valid point.
Yeah.
But then Miz started going really personal with Cena. Bring up the whole relationship angle with Nikki stating, it's very robotic.
On about how Cena steals everything from everyone.
Wait. We'll get to that in a minute. We'll go down the line. They're saying
there's one part of the interview I didn't like.
I can see where this is going. We'll come to that. But did you hear about the whole cameras and everything when they brought up Maurice and stating when Maurice was champion? What was Nikki doing? Oh, she was helping all the hosts of Raw were coming in, valeting and everything, helping them out. And now all of a sudden, you're gone. She's now, all of a sudden she starts dating Cena. Oh, she's beating the longest reigning championship record and going on multiple times.
Yeah.
And everything. So you could say yes and no and whatnot. But in all fairness, regardless of it, her work ethic has been actually quite strong.
Yeah.
And you can actually see the fact that as much as you can say, oh, she doesn't work hard. Look at the training video she had to do to get through the neck injury she had.
Mm.
Look at how hard she worked. She didn't just work a little bit. She didn't just go, oh, do this. Oh, I'm sore. She had a neck brace on and was doing squats.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm wrong somehow, does that sound right to you? Doing squats.
She's probably had the best physios money can buy though, because John Cena's not short.
He's not. But then straight away they moved on from that to Cena's robotic. I love you. That's the one. To making her sign a contract to be friends with her, or to be in a relationship with her, move into the house and then get total bellows, and then it's a lot to take in. And then they started down in the list of what Cena stole.
Right, so now we've come on to this. The one thing I disagreed with, he said, John Cena had stole his finisher.
You mean Tommy Dreamers?
John Cena's finisher is not a Death Valley driver.
Way.
It's not a Death Valley
I'm sorry.
driver.
I'm sorry, but I'm smiling right here, folks. He knows why. Would you explain that one?
What's your finisher?
Which one?
What was your old finisher?
Oh, my old finish, the actual Death Valley driver, which was, which I called. Oh, what did I call it? The Crash and Burn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a Death Valley where you go down with them.
Yeah, and you saw me actually do it.
Yeah, where you go down and you actually
land
on your back. Whereas what John Cena does is a standing fireman's carry slam.
It's a fireman's carry slam. Yeah, I can 100% vouch for that myself.
Has anyone ever done a fireman's carry slam as a finisher?
I think there has been a few.
Well, he's next off them, but not.
There has been a few, but over who invented it. And can I just state this? And people are going to go nuts about this. Tommy Dreamer. Yes, he did the Death Valley driver. Did he invent it?
No.
No. So, how could he be
The originator?
the one, he stole it from him? I'm sorry. Here's another argument I'm going to bring up at you.
That's my only problem with the promo. That one bit was the only problem I've got with the promo.
And I can agree with you on it because the Death Valley driver is definitely something that you consider it to be a finisher.
Yeah. Well, it's a high impact finisher.
Definitely. But did you know that's not the official name? That's not the only name it has. There's Death Valley Drive and Death Valley Bomb, depending on if you're in Japan or not. In Japan, they call it a Death Valley Bomb, just to make you just an interesting fact for you.
Okay.
But the funny thing about it is, Miz is just now saying, "Oh, you stole that from Tommy Dreamer. Skull crushing finale. Where have we seen that?
It's just.
It's a modified stroke.
Oh.
All you're doing is instead of just holding the arms at the side, just lifting them up. Big whoop. I'm sorry, but every move's been done near enough.
And he did say that. He goes, every move is a copy of someone else's move.
Yeah, which Daniel Bryan brought up, if I'm not mistaken. Every move has near enough already been done.
What was interesting, how they brought up like Nikki and Dolph Ziggler's relationship beforehand.
Oh.
Saying that John Cena stole Nikki from...
Some could say that's true, some might not say that's right, but regardless of it, is Dolph complaining right now?
No, he's with Dana Brooke.
He isn't, he's happy. They both probably ended up on... They ended it mutually.
Yeah.
So nothing was stolen, but fair enough. Miz wants to use that to get a bit of a fire. A bit of a fire on the scene. It could bring up a bit of a fire.
Do you know what movie John Cena's just signed up to do?
Go on.
Because obviously after WrestleMania's disappearing for a bit.
Yeah.
He has signed up to be a part of, I think it is, Bad Husbands 2 or something. He had a cameo a couple of years ago on Will Ferrell's movie.
I know what you're on about now.
And he's now signed up to have a
sequel.
Yeah, but he's going to be in it a lot more instead of a cameo. He's actually going to be starring in it.
So he might actually go from cameo to either a sub-character or a main character?
He's a main character.
Oh, interesting.
So he's got 3 films he's filming after WrestleMania.
One thing I can honestly say, a lot of people, and Miz is drawing on this, they're all calling Cena a hypocrite. They're all calling Cena a hypocrite because
I totally understand why they're saying he's a hypocrite because of how much you give The Rock.
Yeah.
But you go where the money is. We had this discussion earlier
We did.
in the reference to Daniel Bryan wanting to wrestle again.
Yeah.
And because wrestling's got that short of like a
Lifespan.
you have to go where the money is. And people may like nag, but John Cena's a smart businessman. He isn't going to spend.
A part of me argues with you on that one because as much as if you love something, you won't want to give it up. That's just.
I don't think he will give up the wrestling.
I don't think he will.
I just think he'll cut back to how long he's there for. Because if we're being honest, you go where the money is. Look at Dave Bautista. Dave Bautista's going to be raking it in again with Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Definitely.
The Rock was the highest paid actor last year in Hollywood. Shawn Michaels has just released another film.
And have you
The Resurrection of Gavin Stone.
And have you seen who's in the TV show business? Stone
Edge.
Cold. Stone Cold.
And Edge.
And Edge. Need we say more?
So once you're done with wrestling, you usually do go to television.
You either go to television or films and everything. But the difference is at least there's that opportunity to move on to another career.
The Miz can't say anything when he's spinning films himself.
B-list, which they actually brought up, and Danny Bryan said, "Well, don't you mean he's going off to do movies? Well, aren't you doing movies? Yeah." Blah 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 blah. Straight to DVD movies, and then Maurice turns around to Danny Bryan and just instantly says, "Yeah, maybe, but where's your movies? Wrestling Road Diaries, anybody?" That's straight off my head. But regardless of it, yes, you could argue it. However, there's always going to be that passion for wrestling, and that's just my personal view on it. As much as I could turn around and say, yes, I'd be lying if I said it. No, anybody in the wrestling business, they just said, "Oh, I'm just doing it for the love of the wrestling." No, you're not. You'll be in there to try to get some of the credibility. But here's the thing: to get to that stage where you are earning the money, you've got to love this business enough to get yourself in that position. You've got to take risks in this business to get to that top plateau.
It just doesn't come to you.
It doesn't. You've actually got to love the business.
And as Paul Heyman said in one of the interviews about Nakamura or anyone can be a main event level player as long as you take chances. Don't be afraid to get fired. And I think that's the same in whatever job you do.
Yeah.
You should not be afraid to fail because sooner or later the company will want you back.
Yes, if something does go wrong and you do get fired, fair enough. It might have... No matter what, as one door closes,
the other opens.
Another one opens. And that's a bit... Some could say that's being optimistic and everything, and someone who's negative and could say, no, but don't fall. No, when one door closes...
It's a glass half full outlook.
You need to always look at it that way, and that's how I see it. Because take into account last week, I dropped some news about myself being out of wrestling for a bit longer than anticipated due to
another injury.
Due to a injury through having whiplash.
Which isn't your fault, this one isn't.
No, but as it can be, the difference is the time that I am actually using while I'm not actually wrestling, I'm actually being productive. I'm actually, we're trying our best to get our, the Burning Truth name out. In fact, we're actually at the show where the King of the Kingdom championship will be first claimed, if not mistaken, and possibly trying to get to other shows and everything around. So, just a bit of an interest. If there are any shows that you think we should actually try and pay a visit to, why don't you send either a message to us
or a flyer,
Spreaker, send it as a flyer, either if necessary messages on Facebook. You've all got a social media, and if last resort, send us an email at theburningtruth@outlook.com. Which is always a good point. But But back on subject to talking smack. At the end of it, did you notice the little thing when Renee turned around and says, well, "What's that deal about?" Did you pick up on that?
Mm.
At the end of it, what's that deal about? Can't talk to you about it. There's a sort of sign that Danny Ryan could be trying to potentially return to wrestling.
Yeah.
Now, there's supposedly, during the whole chat during Talking Smack, he mentioned after we'll see in so many dates so long. Now, here's the thing: there's a chance that Danny Ryan could have mentioned when his contract is up, and that if he does decide to leave WWE, that he could try to wrestle elsewhere.
Yeah.
Yes, we've already brought this up as a subject earlier for the whole Miz thing and everything. Now this is the question that we can say with Daniel Bryan. The WWE doctors are saying no, don't wrestle, and everything, and these other doctors are. Yes, you can say he's passionate about the wrestling business, but he's also got a child coming into this world. Now you sort of hit a bit of a perspective point earlier. This was before before we started a broadcast, and it's one that a lot of wrestlers have to contemplate and have to go through with. It's not an easy life. Wrestling isn't.
No.
It's not, because here's the thing: while you're on the road, if you're trying to build a family, you've got to miss certain dates, certain moments.
Yeah, birthdays, first words,
first steps, potentially. And I can imagine that being, it can be tough. It can actually be tough, It's what some could say. Some could say, would the wrestler want to miss all them moments to have a chance of glory? But in some cases, they're not missing them moments for a chance of glory.
No.
They could be missing them moments to set a future for their children and everything. Yeah. And that's always the case. Now, in this case, Daniel Bryan has had so many concussions. Would you want him going to ROH and risking another concussion and possibly doing some serious damage, or would you rather him stay in WWE as in a GM role?
Well, even if he doesn't want to stay in WWE, he's got to look at the outlook overall. And yes, 3 out of 4 doctors might be saying yes, you're all right to go back to wrestle.
It only takes that one moment.
It's the one moment, and if that one doctor's found something, doctor finding something,
can be life changing. Now, regardless of it, anything. This isn't us stating our personal views and everything. If you do have a view on in regards to this, send it in to us. We'd like to hear. We don't want this just to be us rambling on, just telling us what we think. We also want to hear what you think as well.
Yeah.
And hopefully, if you do send us some feedback, we will return to the subject and possibly probably even do an episode if there's anything you want to discuss with us.
So, moving on from Talking Smack, I know you wanted to talk about What Culture Pro Wrestling.
Yeah. It's not going to be massively. It's not going to be long. It's going to be quite quick. Straight up, I'll just bring up some points straight away. Label it down. We've got a new angle for Joe Hendry, which is the Prestige.
Yeah.
Which has got Joe Coffey.
Morning Coffee.
Trust you. He's got his group of lads now who are battling against the company and everything. And also recently, Martin Kirby has stepped down as the GM.
Yeah.
And has actually passed that on to a new GM, which shockingly was Adam Blampied. Now, some people could turn around and say, well, what's he doing back and everything? Here's the thing, it's an internal source. Some could say it's an internal source. It's their way of keeping costs down and everything. Which, in a way, yes, you could say that's quite a bit of a clever thing. But, at least he addressed the issue with him in the past with Rampage, and that he actually openly admitted that he was an ass.
Yeah.
And that he's corrected his ways and everything and things things are looking up, but then set the tone for Prestige to come in and say, nope, we're taking over and everything. We then had the match of Drew Galloway versus Will Ospreay. Now, supposedly, Drew Galloway was wrestling in Orlando the same day as when WCPW has their Orlando show date. They're meant to be wrestling for WWN, if I'm not mistaken. And Drew Galloway's booked for that as well. So somebody made a claim stating, oh, Will Ospreay will become the new WCPW champion. Did that happen? No. That didn't happen. As much as someone could turn around and say to me right now, where's the spoiler alert? Sorry, this news can be actually be spoiled right now because do you know when the show was actually aired?
Oh.
Monday.
Right.
On YouTube for the world to see for free. Not $3.99, not $9.99, nothing. So you've had plenty of days to see it. I do recommend you seeing it because it actually shows Matt Striker on commentary. Yes, some could say a bit unprofessional that he swore at one point, but the way certain things that transpired, it was necessary because it was, it looked like the Prestige was getting at him. Really getting at him. It was as if they were spitting on British wrestling as a whole and ready to move on without it. So it set to quite a bit of a dark, serious tone. So I do recommend that for anybody to check out and see. And
I'm sure Matt will post the link for anyone that's interested to watch the WCPW pay-per-view.
I think you're on about Exit Wounds?
Yeah.
We could generally post it up if necessary, but all you have to just do is just go to onto YouTube.com and type in What Culture Pro Wrestling, and the second you click on that link and you go down the page, you'll see the entire line straight away for you. So you're more than welcome to go onto there and check it out.
Yeah. Okay, so that's that sorted. So what else have we had this week? There hasn't really been a lot of spoiler news this week or anything like that. Obviously, WrestleMania's taking place now, like the build for it's going up.
One thing I will bring up now, because you brought up WrestleMania. Did you watch Raw this week?
I've watched bits of Raw. Obviously, I've been quite busy at work.
Did you see the final segment?
Undertaker chokeslamming Roman Reigns.
Yeah. It wasn't just Undertaker chokeslamming Roman Reigns. It was Braun Strowman coming out, calling out Roman Reigns for the dead man to appear, Roman to back off, not Roman, Braun to back off, and then Roman come down, stating it, get out Undertaker, this is my yard, for Undertaker to look at the sign, look back at him, and show him who the real big dog is by chokeslamming out of his boots.
Yeah, obviously that's going to take more build over the next coming weeks.
Yeah.
I know there's something you wanted to discuss, which was Finn Balor making his return at a house show.
Right. That vexes me. Not only has he returned at a house show, now most time when it's a return at a house show, they normally say, "Oh, it's just a house show. He's not Drew on main TV or anything yet." But because they've actually put it on the YouTube, on the WWE page on the YouTube, it's now supposedly official. Or if it isn't official, you've already said he's returned. Now, how special would that Finn Balor returning be?
It could have been a nice surprise entrant for the Andre the Giant battle
memorial.
Yeah.
Or potentially as a replacement for Seth Rollins.
No, because Seth Rollins does look like he's going to be fit in time.
There actually still got questions about it.
I know,
but he's the backup player anyway. But the point being is,
the build is.
Do you know why supposedly he returned at a house show?
Yeah, because Undertaker wasn't.
Because the original plan for Undertaker to show up at Fastlane got immediately changed, and they ended up deciding to have him come back on Raw. Fine, that's great. But then straight away they just bumped off for the Finn Balor because they didn't want two returns on the same night. which is understandable. But why did they have to wait 2 days after Raw? After Raw, the televised event, for him to return, to have him return and make it official that he's returned on YouTube. Yes, on YouTube it's more more
mainstream appeal.
Can mainstream technically considered mainstream appeal because everybody can see it for free.
Yeah.
But that takes that little bit of an edge off. It's like, oh, we'll just let you return for free.
It wasn't boosting any segments.
It's not boosting anything.
And he was the first Universal Champion.
Yeah, exactly. And do you know who they had him returning against?
Who?
Rusev.
Not a bad person to return
Not bad
against.
to return against, but it doesn't set anything.
No. So, what's next for Finn?
Who knows? Either they're going to be holding him off on the main shows and just having him on live.
I don't mind him returning at live events, obviously to build his...
Get rid of the ring rust. The point being is, why... It would have been fine if they just had him return and not said anything about it.
Could you imagine Lesnar versus Balor?
Oof.
Could you imagine some of the promo build up?
The Demon against the Beast. That'd be awesome, but I think a lot of people will be standing there thinking, the Beast will break. Will break the Demon. Especially when he's just come back from an injury.
Yeah. Well, that's fair play, I suppose.
Exactly. But the point being is, I just feel as though
they've wasted a return.
Yeah. A little bit.
Yeah.
They may not they might say, but it's not on the official Raw.
No, but it's still on a Raw show.
It's still on a Raw show, still on a house show. The fact that you couldn't be bothered to allow the man to wait 1 week and have him return then. What? You got impatient?
Yeah.
Now, if they just have him in on Raw, Finn Balor just returned on Raw, he returned on this such a date. That is the first ever Universal Champion. He was a high top 5 pick for Raw, and in 1 month because he's been injured, you've dropped him to... He's back. That guy's back.
Oh no, I totally understand where you're coming from, and I totally understand your frustrations. But no, so let's lay the foundations for next week's episode. So next week, hopefully, as long as we're allowed, we'll let you know some of the participants in the King of the Kingdom, or Queen of the Kingdom.
Either one.
We'll let you know some of the participants, as long as we're given the green light to do so.
Yeah. Hopefully we will do.
We'll give you our thoughts on how WrestleMania is building up as the pay-per-view of the year. Which obviously it is supposed to be the granddaddy of them all.
It should be the granddaddy of them all, the Mac Daddy.
So we'll have a look at the build-up, have a look how it's split, have a look if we think it's split fairly. Because at the moment, there's only a couple of matches for SmackDown.
There is, but the one match that did quite interest me was the women's one.
Well, it's just like a throwaway in it for the pre-show.
Well, it just seemed like it was a throwaway, just the... Oh, you're defending your title against all...
Yeah, so, no, but we'll discuss that next week.
We'll discuss that, yeah, I agree with that.
And
definitely.
We'll also take some of your questions next week.
Exactly. So if you do actually have any questions, as previously mentioned, you can send them into our email, which is burningtruth@outlook.com. You can message us on our social media and everything, or if necessary, you can even send us messages to our speaker.
Yeah, but other than that, though, folks...
Is there anything you want to plug this week?
So, no, the only thing I want to plug this week, apart from the UK Wrestle Fan Zone and the UKWA, they are our partners in crime, our fellow wrestling compadres.
And they seem to be hard at work and everything.
Yeah.
Wheeling and dealing and trying to get stuff done. They're always being busy and everything. So it's nice to always hear from them from now and again to hear some of the exploits and everything that they're attempting to progress further.
Is there anyone you want to...
As always, we always recommend our usual Team 4-star Matthew from Botchamania, and as we've already mentioned, the UKWA. And the only other thing I can recommend potentially is what I mentioned last week, which was changes for mental health, which is the website, which is www.changes.org.co.uk. Potentially, I'll just double check that one for you, folks. Is there anything else you want to plug?
No, that's it really.
That's it. Official. The website is www.changes.org.uk. It's to do with health and well-being and everything. So, if and on their main page, they have like 12 steps to mental health charity and everything. So if you want to look into sort for mental health, anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, and everything, we do recommend you give that website a bit of a check out.
Yeah, no problem. And also, I think it's Comic Relief coming up soon as well, isn't it?
As well, yeah.
So it's a good charity. So anyone who listens in the UK, please do what you can to just help that great charity.
Yeah, it's all for a good cause.
So I know where I am at work, they're doing a bake-off, and we're doing all sorts of where we are. If you want to, I've just had some breaking news that you might be able to see a nice little sponsor link where you can sponsor through our Facebook for the Children in Need. A couple of our colleagues that we know are actually running the phones that night. So if you want to speak to people to give you donations, you're able to do that. But we'll also try to see if we can find the link where if you're shy about speaking to people, where you're able to text through to a number. So we'll hopefully put the number up.
And most likely they'll have the number. They'll most likely have the number on view on the television and everything for everybody to see. So we do always give recommendations for that. So
yeah, other than that though, folks, have a good week and please watch your local wrestling or regional wrestling or national wrestling.
Or worldwide wrestling.
Yeah.
Anything to do with wrestling. So stay well, stay safe, and we will catch you next week at our usual scheduled time, which should be 9 p.m. GMT.
Yeah.
So with that, catch you later and stay well.
Bye, folks.
Bye-bye.